Good morning, Americans and other friends and subscribers around the world. Well, I thought I would sit down here for some morning coffee. We watched. Well, we don't watch much news. I guess. Well, I can't say we don't watch. Yeah, we don't. Yeah.
Turn it on, see what's happening.
Basically, we watch it for the weather. But this morning, when we were watching the little bit of the news, we seen that Idaho had made Vogue magazine, and it was right next to Madagascar.
Yeah, it's the top destinations in the world, and the only spot in America that made it in the magazine
was Idaho. Which we already knew that.
Yeah.
But, you know.
We thought that was.
But we didn't want everybody else to know that.
Yeah.
But so, anyways, we thought we'd kind of devote this morning coffee to our second biggest love in our lives would be our Idaho. We love it's just everything, you know. Like I said, we try not to promote it too much. We don't want everybody moving to Idaho. But
there's a lot to do and see here.
Yep, there's just year-round everything, you know. Not if you're into skiing and all that, or just sitting in front of the fire drinking coffee.
Or snow.
Yeah.
We got snow this year.
Yeah, we definitely got snow. I wasn't even going to talk about that. That's a four-letter word.
You forgot to tell me that.
Yeah, I've about had my fill of that, and they're getting nailed. It's kind of crazy this morning. Down the flatlands, man, Boise and surrounding areas down there, they're getting just nailed right now. Supposed to get 7 inches down there, and they've already got, my mom said they already have 5 or 6 inches on the ground, and we got some wind and stuff, and it's coming, but it didn't snow here at all last night. But we've got, you know, they got 5 inches and we got 5 feet already, so we got plenty to spare. The other day when I did that video, I ended up spending 6 hours out there, because once I got started, I figured I was just gonna shovel everything, so I ended up shoveling off all my roofs. And like I said in that video, one of the reasons is gonna get see, you got me talking about snow again. But one of the reasons is, man, it's supposed to be 40 degrees Monday.
Yeah.
Crazy. That's Idaho, man. Back to Idaho.
-2, and then a couple days later.
Yeah, that's right. And if you don't like it, just wait a few minutes. But you know, making the Vogue magazine is just crazy. We've actually, Boise and a lot of that stuff's been in quite a few different magazines because of the scene and stuff. You know, nothing that we're into or whatever, but a lot of the breweries and
microbreweries.
Yeah. And something we haven't, but I wouldn't mind going to is the big Saturday market that they do down there in Boise, man. I guess it's Kevin D and McKenzie go down there quite a bit and said, man, it's a hoot, that big Saturday market, so that'd be kind of fun to run down. You know, we see a lot of people. I mean, we can't even begin to tell you how many people move up north, you know, up our way and up towards Kitty's uncle's. You know, he lives farther north. He lives way up, you know, the Panhandle, and he has the same thing up there, man. These people come up in these areas in the spring and summertime, and man, I love Idaho, man. I'm gonna buy me a chunk of property, and so they buy a piece of property and move on up here, and man, usually spend one winter and sell out in the spring, and then they sell out in the spring. That's Earl always told me, man, you just come up here in the spring, shop around for some property, you'll find some cheap stuff, you know. But man, I can't even begin to say enough amazing things. You know, the whole Pacific Northwest, you know, man. I mean, I'm totally biased for my Idaho, but you know, it's just an awesome way of life, awesome everything. You know, you just, if you're into the city life, and like I said, the city scene or whatever it is, man, that Boise's starting to get on a lot of them lists right there with Portland and Seattle, and you know, and that's
we don't know firsthand experience, but they have a good music scene and in the big cities down there in Boise.
Yeah. And it's getting bigger all the time, man. We haven't been in, you know, we were both born, actually, both of us and all our kids were born in the same hospital in Boise. But we haven't been to downtown Boise in a long time. And just the last time, because we're going to go down, I got to get down there and see my mom and my grandma, but just the last time that, you know, actually I can go to, they live on the north side, I can actually come out of here and never have to really get on a main highway and slide into there, because they're on the north side, so I can slide into my grandma's and my mom's. They only live a block away from each other, and I can slide in there without really having to see anything. But I wouldn't mind driving through downtown just to, you know,
I think that's why that Idaho made the list, is because it's so diverse. I mean, you've got the city scene, and then you've got the outdoor scene.
Right, yeah, because I mean, you can be down there doing your, you know,
shopping or
partying and having a good time, man. Lots of, you know, big names, you know, as far as concerts, all that, like she said, the music scene and all that, and but yet then you can, you know, grab your skis, run up to Bogus Basin, or, you know, go a little farther, go over to Tamarack and Donley, or on up to Brundage Mountain and McCall. You know, McCall's been, it's been the hot spot for years. I remember, I don't know if I ever said this in a video, but when I was a kid, you know, my grandpa and my grandparents, my grandpa pretty much raised me, and, you know, like I always said, pretty much grew up part of my life in McCall. And I remember one time we were putting in the boat, and it was in the 70s, and actually back then, right off the main drag, now it's a little park, but there used to be a boat ramp there, and we're down there putting the boat in, and he looks over and they're building condominiums, and he's all, "You see that, Kevy? That's the beginning of the end." And I, you know, that just has always stuck with me, because that was, you know, as far as being the end of, you know, of our, you know, us kind of people or whatever. Because, I mean, you go up there now and, you know, it's just money. You know, I mean, it's like a little Sun Valley, man. It's just money people.
A resort town.
Yeah, resort town. Yeah. I mean, you can't even, man, all the people, all the old timers and the kids that we knew that lived up there, man, they all moved. You know, a lot of them moved down here. A lot of them, you know, just dispersed because they couldn't afford the high rent and the probably property taxes, all that stuff up there. But I still love McCall. I mean, you go up there, man, you know, you plan on making a trip to Idaho and stuff, man.
It's a great place to see.
Beautiful place to see. You know, one of my favorite, or our favorites, has always been Idaho City, you know, and that's really where we thought for sure that we'd, I mean, man, we did a store for a season up there. We did flea markets up there for years. I think we even tried to squat one time when we were reading that. Was talking about, remember?
Into squatting rights?
Yeah, squatting rights and all. But anyway.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like fun.
No, man, it wasn't going to be a good deal.
No.
But anyway, you know, getting a gold claim and stuff. I mean, we were trying to figure out, you know, we didn't have no money. And we thought for sure we'd end up in Boise County. And as it's turned out, as Boise has grown, man, Boise County and Idaho City and stuff is just getting, I mean, just
changing.
Just changing a lot. Crazy. Yeah. There's a little community, Clear Creek, which is off of Grimes Creek between Boise and Idaho City, and we almost bought a piece of property in there, but just, no way.
It just wasn't.
Yeah, and it wasn't far enough away.
Yeah, and it just wasn't our thing.
Yeah, it just wasn't our thing, man. Just wasn't that, and it wasn't far enough away. And then Idaho City, man, you know, I would have said, man, you got to check out Idaho City.
What's Idaho City like? I mean, our viewers, they probably.
Oh yeah, man, you can look on Idaho City, but it's gone. I mean, a lot of it's gone. Yeah, they had a fire up there, but Idaho City, you know, my whole life growing up, all that, and then, I mean, we basically raised our kids up in Boise County between Idaho City and Atlanta, Idaho. you know, I mean, that's our all-time. They'll always have this special place in our hearts. Atlanta, Idaho. If you ain't ever been to Atlanta, Idaho, it's a heck of a trek in there. But man, there ain't nothing like Atlanta, Idaho. You want to be in the middle of nowhere? Go to Atlanta, Idaho.
Yeah.
And it's awesome. Man, some hot springs will blow your mind. But anyway, Idaho City. Man, anytime you go to Idaho City, it was like taking a step back in time. The old boardwalks, totally 100%, you know, western town.
Well, it was a boom town.
Amazing.
With the gold rush.
Right. And there's, I can't remember what the camp. I used to know all the history of the whole place.
But it's a very interesting history on the gold rush, the mass migration to the basin for the gold, and then
for the Boise Basin,
basically.
And the Chinese, man, how the Chinese moved in
there's
and
a
all
lot
that.
of Orient history up there too.
Right, but like I said, really, they had was it last year the fire was up there?
Yeah,
last year, man.
Devastating.
Oh man, it ended up taking out. Yeah, Calamity Jane's was a little restaurant that was one of our favorite places to eat. And then, and then the ice cream parlor, they reopened that back up down by the, I think they're in the Shady Lady or something now. All these names don't mean nothing to you, but man, it burned out the whole boardwalk, and I haven't been up there for 3 or 4 years.
If you continue on that Highway 21 past Idaho City at Stanley.
Or Loman, and go through Loman.
Yep, beautiful areas.
Yep, Loman. Yeah, Stanley's definitely, I mean, you get over to Stanley, man, you get, you know, you're in the cup of the Sawtooth Mountains. Where Atlanta, you're on the backside of the Sawtooth Mountains, and that's pretty cool,
that
too.
whole area, we've got some natural hot springs here, but that whole area, if you're into hot springs.
Just tons, man. Pick up one of them hot springs books, man. Amazing.
Lots of nice hikes.
Yeah, and Idaho has more natural hot springs than any other state in the union.
Yeah.
And we went to
72, I think.
Yeah, it was, I was going to say 78, but one summer when Cara was a baby,
we just took off.
Yeah, we took off and
started hitting all of them.
Yeah, and we hit 78 different natural hot springs. We have a book. It's our own personal hot springs book that we did our own ratings and everything in, and it was just an awesome
great way to see wildlife. Saw some neat things.
And then over to so then you go to Stanley, and from Stanley you can, when you come into Stanley, you can either go left towards Salmon and that way, and Chalice. Isn't it Chalice? Chalice is the one out in the middle.
Yeah.
Or you can go to the right and go to Ketchum and Sun Valley, which will take you down, and from there you can go down Twin Falls, Pocatello, Southeastern. And I need to make the circle around back over to Yellowstone and all that, but that, go to Chalice or go to Stanley and then turn and go through Chalice into Salmon. And I still got some family in Salmon. I love Salmon, Idaho.
Beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful little place.
We say beautiful, but you just can't describe it. You have to see it.
Right, yeah, you have to.
It's majestic, the terrain, the mountains.
Yeah, and I mean, you can make, and you can do big circles, I mean, if you're planning a trip to Idaho, you can do some big circles and all that.
Yeah, just the scenic drives are worth driving through Idaho.
Oh, yeah, yep. And you can go, like you could go, like I said, to Salmon. I think from Salmon you can go over to Idaho Falls, and down into Yellowstone. I mean, you could circle up and go in through a little bit into Montana, which Montana was actually, man, we gave Montana that chunk, that bite out of that bite out of Idaho that looks like something chomped on it. That's because we gave that to the Montana territory so they could become a state.
And I got to jump in here. You mentioned Yellowstone. A lot of people don't realize Yellowstone is in Idaho.
Yeah, part of it. Yeah, part of it. A small chunk.
Yeah, they don't. They always say Wyoming. And
right, Wyoming. Yeah, it's actually Wyoming, Montana, and Idaho. It's 3 states.
Yeah.
Yellowstone. If you ain't been to Yellowstone, man, you need to go to Yellowstone. Amazing.
Yeah, the beginning of the river.
That's the Salmon River.
Yeah.
The opening of the Salmon River. The Snake River. I got Salmon River in my mind because I'm in the Salmon River. But the Snake River, at the mouth of it, where it bubbles out of the ground. Out of the ground. It just, I mean, and if you've never seen the Snake River, I mean, it is.
It's a river.
Yeah. Everything feeds the snake around here. And then there's a cabin, a little, man, he was a little dude too. It was, I can't remember the years and stuff, and I don't even remember his name, which is crazy because he's an old mountain man. But he built this little cabin right there at right where it bubbles, where the Snake River bubbles out of the ground. And you can go into it. Yeah, it's got a little tour thing. And when we were up there, we went through it. And man, I haven't quite figured out how he did it, but I will. But he used like bark, and he got it. I mean, he didn't have chemicals and all that crap back then.
But he would take the log and cut it in a way that you could see all the layers of the bark, and he used that for his
and he trimmed this thing out. Oh man, it is beautiful. It is, probably the most beautiful hand-built cabin that I've ever seen, man. So that's definitely something you'd wanna check out. And that man, I can't remember if we crossed into Montana, if that was in.
I can't
I'd have to look to see exactly where it
on the map
bubbles
of
out. Yeah, because you get up there, you just like you do in any. When you get that close to the States, you're jumping across the border, all over the dang things. But man, definitely, I mean, Idaho, I don't want everybody moving here, but man, everybody should see it. Not to be greedy or anything, but it's, man, it's a wonderful place. Oh, and from there, I was going to say, because I was just going to kind of do the whole, trip that somebody could do. I mean, you could go through the whole. If you had a week, you could pretty much see every different area of Idaho, and from Yellowstone, Idaho Falls, and the cabin and stuff. You'd probably have to jump into Montana, but then you could come across Lolo Pass, man. You can read some history and stuff on Lolo Pass. Is some amazing. I got some pictures somewhere of some horse and buggies going across the old Lolo Pass with the old sign and stuff. And then you can drop down into there, man. You can go into.
Is Lolo Pass part of Lewis and Clark Trail? I can't really remember.
But oh man, I just spilled coffee down the lane. But so you go over Lolo Pass, man. Then you can go into Elk City, Grangeville, and head on up to Coeur d'Alene, man. Coeur d'Alene Lake.
The high mountain lakes up in northern Idaho.
Beautiful.
Amazing.
And then if you're into fishing and stuff like that, of course, you got the Salmon and Steelhead runs on the Salmon River.
The Columbia, the mouth of the beginning of the Columbia is actually part of Hell's Canyon.
Yeah, Lewiston
area, and that is some really neat geological history. I don't know if I want to say it.
Yeah, what?
The Hell's Canyon is the deepest gorge in the North America. It's actually deeper than Grand Canyon.
Yeah, and that's most of that. I mean, you can go in. It's a heck of a drive, but you can go in. From Cambridge, or you can go back road in from
Oregon.
All right, I had to cut back in here the memory card or something happened with this dang camera. Anyway, we left off, or where I was talking about, I think it was Hell's Canyon. Hell's Canyon, and you can go out of. I don't know if I got that in there.
Yeah, you said you can access it through Cambridge or up by Lewiston.
Okay, and then also you've got outside of Council, which is a road that we did once. I wouldn't go back down, and her grandpa actually was part of building it, and it's the
Kleinschmidt grade.
Yeah, the Kleinschmidt grade, and it's a switchback, just drop. It's just crazy, beautiful, And if you are going to do that, and I mean it was cool. I would say I wouldn't do it, but I would. I'd go back down it, but I'd definitely do it in the, it's got definitely be
dry
good.
Season.
Yeah, dry season. You go across down there then, and there's some parts along there that it's just solid granite. And there's like water running over the granite. It's like, man, if there was any ice, man, you'd be down at the bottom of Hell's Canyon fast.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a gnarly.
So it's quite the drive to get to the Hell's Canyon Dam.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and then once you get down, because if you go through, because you can come through halfway in Baker and over that way too, and once you get down to the dam, which it's a heck of a, you come out at, we got Oxbow. So you come out at Oxbow Dam, you cross there back because you go from Oregon, you jump back and forth because it's Oregon on one side, Idaho, and you come back, you go back across into Idaho, and then it's this long drive, I can't remember how many miles, to Hell's Canyon Dam, and then you cross back into Oregon, and you go down to the bottom, and there's like an information center and stuff, and that's where they, put the jet boats in and the rafts and all that. And man, when you turn around and look back at that dam, holy smokes, man. I'll tell you what, when you're down there, it's almost an eerie feeling because you know that wall is holding so much water, you know, it makes you realize just how small you are, and if those horns and stuff go off, you might as well just bend over and kiss your keister goodbye, because, man, holy smokes. But, man, beautiful. And there's so much history down in the, I've done a lot of reading, Kitty. I think I started reading a book recently, man, Wheelbarrow Annie, and, you know, some of the old-timers and pioneers and stuff that actually lived. And then when you're doing the raft trips, something that we haven't done, I'd like to do a jet boat trip down through there. Is, man, there's old cabins and homesteads and stuff down through there that you can check out. And then, so that was to Lewiston. And then from Lewiston, you know, you can go, and Highway 95, man, just runs up pretty much through the center of Idaho all the way to the Canada border. And, man, like Kitty said, the scenic and just the drive and the scenic wonders that you see driving up through there, man, up to Coeur d'Alene Lake, and, you know, up to Spirit Lake, and mountain lakes are just, wow. Man, make sure you take a fishing boat. Yeah. Because, and then once you get up there in the Panhandle, you know, you get to a point, I can't remember what little town that is. We went to breakfast there that one time, but anyway, you're in that little town, and I can't remember it, 20 or 30 miles to the west is Washington, 20 or 30 miles to the north is Canada, and 20 or 30 miles to the east is Montana. Yep, so it's definitely, you know, there's something else I was going to say about somewhere.
Well, it's really hard to get in all of the highlights of Idaho because there's just so many.
Yes.
Rock hounding.
Yep. I mean, yeah.
We got the nickname the Gem State for a reason, because we've got precious.
Yeah, so many precious stones.
Yep. Lying on the ground.
Our star garnets, man, are only found here in
India.
In India.
2 places in the world.
Yeah, we do a lot of rock hounding, you know. I mean, everything from rock hounding, mushroom hunting, shed hunting.
Dinosaur bones.
Yeah,
the Hagerman horse.
Yeah, the Hagerman horse. Hagerman's another place. Yeah, see, I could just sit there and go on and on. Because I grew up going to Hagerman. We'd go the weekend after Easter my whole life. And after the old timers passed on and stuff, they kind of changed the place we used to all camp. It's sad to say we stopped going there, but man, there's a couple of 3 hot springs there. You know, they're pay ones to go in, but man,
indoor one, outdoor one, alligators, yurts that you can rent.
1,000 springs is what they have. It's 1,000 springs, man, and you can watch the water. You know, and you're right on the Snake River, and you can watch the waterfalls coming off the cliffs, and Hagerman, Idaho is definitely a destination to check out for sure, man. I love Hagerman.
The Waihees.
Yep, the Waihees. Man, there's just Waihees. What about
the lava hot spring, or the lava flows there? Soda Springs.
Oh, Soda Springs. That's where my grandma's from. Yep, and then you get over to Shelley, Idaho, and stuff like that. That's where my mom's side of the family's all from there.
But the lava, why can't I remember? It's a national park or a national monument. I can't remember the name of it. But it's the lava flows. I mean, it's.
Oh, you're talking about Craters of the Moon.
Is that? Oh,
yeah, this ain't lava. That's right. You should go through Craters of the Moon. That's southern Idaho. I didn't even think about Craters of the Moon, man. But don't go there in the winter, man. It is a miserable, miserable mother. But man, it's great. Craters of the Moon. Yeah, it's for sure a sight to be seen. And then you got me off. I was going to tell them somewhere else down there that. Well, Silver City, man. Silver City's definitely a trek to, you know, to trek into Silver City down there in the Waihees. You know, it's high desert land, but man, it's just all so beautiful. That's one that you'd want to do more early summer, spring, not too early in the spring, because man, it'd be a muddy mother, because it's all dirt, you know, dirt roads. That would be considered a ghost town, but there's still people there that do reside there. But it's we trekked around the mountains, and man, I've got one hanging over there that. Man, we found an old mine, and we were up in the mine, and I looked up in this hole, and man, there was these crystals, and I ended up getting all the girls and Kevin D and Miss K, all of us. I mean, we came back with a bunch of crystals, and my brother actually had some mounted in silver for them.
The Gem State.
Yep, Gem State. I mean, there is. If you're a rock hound, man, Idaho's definitely a place to visit.
You've got to come to Idaho.
Yep, for sure. And the fishing, I mean, if you're a fisherman, if you're a hunter, if you're a rock hound, if you're a skier, if you're a snowmobiler, if you're a hiker, if you're a mushroom hunter, I mean, like I said, man, I don't want y'all moving here, but come on out and visit. But you all have a beautiful, wonderful day, and man, you guys in the east are getting ready to get pounded over there, it sounds like, too. So, yep, and everybody be careful out there, but
be prepared.
Yep, and be happy. Don't worry, be happy now.